What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? We're back with the weekly Sunday show, Bgst. It's been a very, very interesting week in gaming. We lost some soldiers along the way, some good news, some bad news. This has been a crazy week of gaming. NPDs, a whole bunch of stuff. So what we want to talk about first? Crytek.
Well, just so the audience knows, our K Mega and Showstopper are supposed to be popping in. We went a little early today. Not a lot of people in the gaming world would want to hear this, but the Giants are on playing a big game against the Cowboys, and Tim Dog's out with his boys having wings and beers, so Tim couldn't make it. And I asked Z if we can go a little early so we can enjoy the game tonight because I'm a huge Giant fan. And so Z was like, yeah, I don't care. We can go a little early. What the hell? So that's why our other guys are coming a little bit later. We kind of pulled this shit improv. But, yeah, no, getting back to what Z said, definitely. So what do you want to tackle first? You want to do NPDs? We should throw it up.
Well, whatever. I don't care.
Throw it up to Crap.
Crap. Which one do first?
Crap knows.
I mean, we could do NPDs. That's always a good topic.
Okay, NPD sales. Let's go.
Well, what we were talking about earlier on MC Mornings, and we've mentioned throughout the weekend, is everybody knows that Microsoft lost by such a small margin. It's one of those things where you lose the battle, but you might win the war. I've been saying that for about a week or two now. I just think that when you have to look at a fight, I use this example all the time. If you're a conglomerate chain, right, and you just make tons and tons of money, and all of a sudden little Joe mom and pop store opens up down the road, if at the end of the holiday season you only end up a couple 100,000 or whatever it is, a little bit, that's not necessarily a good thing to tout your horn because Sony did have 3 new SKUs out compared to Microsoft's pretty much one, just the Xbox One S. I mean, all things saying, a W is still a W. Sony did win November, no doubt about it. That's fine. They got the W. That's great. But you got to understand something. Talking about winning on Twitter is different than talking about winning on Wall Street, okay, when you're talking about money and you're talking about investors. Z, if I owe you tons and tons and tons of money, and I'm like, listen, you're like, Mooch, I know you sold stuff. I know you're good. I know you got money. I'm like, Z, we did really well, but we didn't do well enough to pay you back. You don't give a shit how well I did. Guess what I didn't do? I didn't do well enough. And the way it was, I mean, Crap, you helped me with some of the numbers, but they said that PSVR, they told investors that they were projecting 2.6 million sales. They sold 68,000 units last month.
In November, yeah, which is like the biggest selling month. And that, I guess, they did 100 and some thousand at the launch month, and so they cut that number in half the second month. Or more, you know what I mean? Like, it's absolutely ridiculous, like, the number that they actually put out there. So, yeah, VR dead, completely a flop. People aren't, people will willing to try the Kinect at 150. I don't think people are willing to try VR for 550. That's...
Well, I've said before, because I want to try it my damn self, but I'm a man of very little means. $500 is a lot of money because you're going to need the sticks in the bundle. Whatever.
Well, $500 includes the sticks.
I'm just saying, but that's why I say $500. It's $400 with just the camera. I already have. Just with the headset, I already have a camera, but I need the sticks. So like $500 is a lot for a peripheral that I may play with 3 or 4 times because I do want to try it. I just don't want to spend $500 on it. It's
an okay experience, dude, but like you're not going to.
I've never tried it yet. Have you played it? Have you tried
it? I've tried it a couple times now, but and it is cool, right? It's pretty cool. But the problem is you're not going to want to play it all the time or even most of the time or even some of the time mostly. I mean, it's like cool or whatever, and then the novelty wears off and then you're back to playing, your Dead Risings, your Call of Duties, your whatever, So at least that's how it is for me. It's like you're not going to sit there and play these things because most of all, they're not really big experience. Like the Batman thing is really cool in my opinion, but you can beat that in an hour. So
that's the problem. I mean, listen, for an experience, Z, you're not paying $600. If someone told you, yo, this is the greatest roller coaster ride ever at Six Flags, you'd be like, yo, I'm going. I'm like, no problem. I got a ticket right here. That'll be $600.
Again, no, I'm not doing it. That Batman game was actually made by Rocksteady. So that's a quality developer, whereas a lot of these other games are just made by indie developers and like developers like Joe Blow or whoever, you know what I mean? Like not very significant or high pedigrees or anything like that. So
Right. That's true. So when everybody touts the Batman game, they can, but then once you go to like Office Simulator or that luge down the streets of whatever it is. It's all like cheesy, pixelated graphics. I mean, I don't know. I mean, again, it comes down to the dollars, right? If this thing was $199, it probably would have sold a lot better. But at $600, people are like, it's still the cheapest avenue to VR. Nobody cares.
But you know what?
It's still $600.
And I've said this again. I've said this when they first announced the thing, and I was looking at it because I first thought every game that you played was going to be in VR, but they don't have any. You can see what you want about the Kinect, but they had the some software like Kinect Sports or stuff like that the casual Just Dance that the casuals ran to. Like I said, us hardcore gamers, we don't really bring these companies any money. It's the casuals. And for $500 and not having their own, let's say a Candy Crush type game or something that the casuals get up and play with, it's not going to do well. Not especially not at the $400 or $500 price tag. I don't care how it's not in today's market. That shit costs more than their PS4 Pro. You know, I mean that's a lot of money. If Sony was smart, what I think they should have done, they should have put the Pro out or whatever this November, and then maybe list VR around the time of the Switch. That's a lot of hardware on the market at one time. You know what I mean? Especially if you want to get some Xbox gamers to buy, they maybe want to try the VR and they don't have a PS4. So they might got to buy the PS4 and I got to spend, that's $400. And I got to spend another $500 for that's then $1,000, man. That's a lot of moolah.
It's a lot of money. And here's the problem though, Z. And I mean, I'm going to use you as an example. You got a Pro. Mm-hmm. What are you doing with it? Beautiful. That was the best answer you really could have gave.
Yeah, I got a Pro.
It is. Listen, you got a Pro, right? But listen, let's talk about families on Christmas Day. You open up the PSVR, you open up the Pro. You're not doing much with the Pro. There's no games coming out for just the Pro that are going to use the power of that system. HDR, all that, great, grand, wonderful. We got that on the Xbox One S. So
supposedly, according to Sony, you got that on the launch PS4. So
right, yeah. What was that? They got Instagram filter.
Yeah, HDR. Instagram filter HDR on that PS4 and PS4 Slim. Let's rock it.
So you got that. But my point is if I'm a kid, I'm awfully disappointed. I'm wearing this funkadelic helmet. I will
point this out though. Before I got rid of my launch PS4, I tested that out on my 4K HDR, and it doesn't look nearly as good as say the games on the Pro and the HDR.
Right.
So I mean, you can just tell. And I'm probably one of the worst people who can tell stuff just by eyeing it. So I had one hooked up in the HDMI slot one hooked up in the HDMI slot 2, and just switch back and forth.
Right.
And yeah, kind of there you go.
Yeah, no, it's just that I think that, when it comes down to it, let's use the word the media used towards Microsoft, but they were right using the word, but the wrong company. Basically what it comes down to is they confused the consumer. And the reason they confused it was you walk in with so much money in your hand, you're like, do I buy a Pro? Do I buy a PSVR? Is my PS vanilla? These are casuals talking. They're not the people that are on Twitter. It's not the people on YouTube. It's not people in the know. It's not people that are really cool on Reddit. It's people that have no idea. They're walking in. They're like, I have a PS4. Do I need a Pro? And it depends on the salesman. If the salesman's a Sony fan or a diehard, they're like, you definitely need this Pro, man. You have no idea what you're missing. But other people are going to be like, well, what am I missing? And you're like, have you ever played NBA 2K in HDR, man? And you're like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, most people have no idea what that truly is, and nor do they care. So that was confusing. There's too many pieces of hardware out for the casual public to just walk in. Now, Microsoft, people thought did the same thing, but you can see they're kind of they're eliminating the Xbox One Fat, so now it's just Xbox One S. Then come next year, you'll have an S and a Scorpio. You know what I'm saying? And a K Mega.
And a K Mega.
K Mega was like, screw the doorbell. I'm going right with the fucking trumpets. So what's up, Kay? We're talking about the glory that is the NPDs and where shit ended up, basically.
Well, I want to address Eric Period in the comments section. I noticed when I talked about his thumbnail. It says, you paid $150 for a controller, but you have a problem paying $400 for VR. Shaking my head. So the difference is, I'm going to use that controller every day. VR is something I know I collect gadgets that I'm going to play with maybe 3 to 4 or 5 times. I'm just being honest. So, I don't, if it's something I'm going to use and I'm going to, I like televisions. I buy televisions every goddamn year, right? I'm going to use it every day. I'm not going to spend money on a TV, $2,000 to $3,000 that I'm going to watch maybe 2 or 3 times. especially with not any appealing software. So I don't really see, what's hard to understand about that. No shade, you know what I mean? That's just keeping it funky. No, my question: do you have VR, Eric? I don't think you even got one. So what the hell you shaming me like you ain't got one?
Hey man, his punk ass be renting games. He said that himself in Bang Bang. Come on, man. He Redbox games. Come on now. Come on now. Stop tripping now, Eric. We know about your past now, bro. Let's not get that Bang Bang shit out there for you.
Oh man, that joke is wild, man.
Yeah. Speaking of wild, Omiziago said just a second ago in the chat that Horizon is going to be epic. I'd love to see. So. I'd love to see the. Me too, but I'd love to see the evidence and the clues he has that we all missed.
Can he give me some who's going to win the Super Bowl? Who's going to exactly. What's the lotto going to be tomorrow?
The lotto numbers, Omiziago.
Come on.
I hope so. I mean, just
Horizon's going to be epic.
Looking at their track record, with the. I mean, again, this is my opinion. I don't care for the Killzone games. They're very pretty looking games, but I hope the game is fun. I'm going to buy it. I'm going to check it out. I hope.
Listen, I'm going to buy Horizon day one. Yeah. And it'll be fun to just walk around in that beautiful artwork of grass, fight one of those robo elephants, and then walk another 12 miles in that beautiful grass. Listen, man, look, I'm not down. People get confused between a good game and a beautiful game, okay? Right. They can make a beautiful game, but it doesn't mean it's a good game. And I don't understand why these guys that are on, PlayStation just can't figure it out. They just can't figure out. Like, something that's like when Uncharted 4 came out. Like, this is goddamn amazing. It's just Uncharted again. But that mud, that glorious 1080p mud, like that was just that shit was that's some earthy mud they got there. I mean, I just don't understand these people, man. These people call each other gamers, yet they don't play the game. They just look at the game. The beauty is a beautiful thing. It really is, right? It is.
It is.
It's you watch beauty pageants, you do this, you enjoy that, but at the end of the day, you got to be able to talk to your woman. You know what I mean? You can't just stare at her. And when you got the game in front of you and it's beautiful, but there ain't nothing to do, you got problems. You know what I mean? So that's my biggest issue with Guerrilla Games. We'll see you, Miziago. I'm going to buy it day one. You're not. And, yet you're the one that's going to walk around telling everybody that you're a Sony guy and you won't support them. So we'll see how that works out.
Right, and that's the thing that trips me out more than anything. I was having a discussion last night with a couple of people, and I was just coming to the conclusion, look, when is Sony going to change? Sony has been Sony from day one. So how in the hell is it that everybody else has to change, but Sony can still bring you the same titles over and over and over again? So because Xbox doesn't bring a plethora of fucking JRPGs. Look, I am a fan of JRPGs, but I don't want every last one of them. Look, right after Wild Arms 2, Wild Arms fell the fuck off. Right after Dragon Quest, 5, Dragon Quest fell off. Phantasy Star, after the second one, it fell off. I mean, come on now. Let's just be realistic. The only consistent JRPG that there is out there is Final Fantasy. Hell, they won't even bring a Legend of Legaia. You know what I'm saying? They had two, but then they should have brought a third. That was a quality one. But, I mean, come on. Xbox is fine where they're at. The diversity between the companies is a beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying? That's what gives the option of everybody to buy every console. If you want everything to be the same, then basically you're downgrading gaming altogether. You know what I'm saying? I prefer it to be this way.
Right. Right, and that's what's key about it is that, and the other thing is this. Look, what is Sony giving anybody in 2016? Why are we're forgetting that we're still in 2016? It's not the past yet. You know what I mean?
Right.
Shit. We haven't got. We're doing the opposite here. Everybody does the opposite of the damn Scrooge movies. Okay. In this world, we don't do the Ghost of Christmas Past till after we pass the fucking year. We're still in 2016, and the only thing that Sony's given me as a consumer is Uncharted 4 and a broken No Man's Sky, and now a game that was 10 years in the making that's got great lighting, yet it's broken.
Very broken. I watched The Last Guardian. Inko and Shadow of the Colossus are far better than what The Last Guardian is. That is a fact. I don't know how anybody could appreciate those other two games and then look at this game and see how broken it is. I mean, you're not really even fighting. I watched an hour and a half of gameplay because I was intrigued because I do have love for those two games, especially Inko. I really enjoyed Inko a lot. And so, it's just, man, everybody knows that game was not that far into development. It's broken and as lazy of work that it was. You could tell it was rushed, and they slapped a $50-$60 sign on it and said, here you go. You've been waiting for it. This is what we think about you, PlayStation Nation. I mean, I would be pissed personally. If you told me there was a game that Microsoft was developing for 10 years and it come to the caliber of The Last Guardian, I would, I would probably do the motherfucking Ironwolf right now. You know what I'm saying? This shit is ridiculous. I'm just saying.
They said they got my man Wolf out there like Pee Wee Herman doing the Pee Wee Herman. Then they did it.
Shout out to my boy Wolf, man.
Shout out to Wolf, man.
He said I attacked him, man. I'm not trying to attack you, brother, man. I just think that you just misleading a lot of people, bro. There's a lot of people that supported you, that had your back when so many people was having pictures of you, doing nasty shit to developers and shit like that, and to go over there and to cater to those people is absolutely insane to me. But hey, you're a grown ass man. You do what you have to do.
So, go ahead, Z.
No, well, I mean, again. Oh, I mean, we're just bugging out by the title. I ain't got no problem with Wolf. I mean, he's a grown man. He can buy and play with the hell he wants. I have a PS4 Pro. It's just for shits and gigs. I got a sense of humor, but this week, it seems like and I gave Sony their credit for having a PS6 and whatever said that, even though like 90% of the games I didn't care for, their fans were happy. It's cool. But a lot of
aren't their fans happy? That's the question.
Good point.
Yeah, that's a great question.
But I would just say, like, I would like for us, I'm a gamer, period, but I prefer the Xbox. I would like for us to have our own dedication show or showing games like an hour just to spit on their brand.
You do. It's called E3, and it's 12:30 till 2 on Monday mornings. I mean, it really. I don't understand. See, here's the thing, though. We know these games. We say it all the time. These games take 3-4 years to come out. So when you saw what you saw at E3 last year is what you're going to be getting in the next 12 months from Microsoft, and then you're going to see something this E3 that's going to portray the next 12 months to 18 months, whatever that may be. What Sony did with PSX was they showed you their entire portfolio up to 2020. And that's fine. If you want that, that's fine. I mean, that's something that maybe Microsoft will answer moving forward. Mm-hmm. But when you go back to E3 2012, E3 2011, E3 2013, they were showing games that weren't coming out for a long-ass time. Both companies. And people complained. They were like, I don't want to see something I can't touch for 3-4 years. And now when Sony comes out and they're like, here is The Last of Us 2. And you're like, the curtain goes up and it's just a cartoon. It's just a show. It's just a CGI. People are like, that's it. I knew it. Throw the Xbox One out, kids. Let's get in the car. Time for a Pro. I mean, you're like, are you crazy? Like, that's just a CGI from 4 years from now. Who gets that excited about a coming attraction? Have you ever gone to the movies, seen a coming attraction, and left the movie that you were there to see because you can't wait for the coming attraction? Like, come on, man. I don't understand people. Like, right? No, see, that shit looks good in 3 years. Let's get the fuck out of here.
You the man, bro.
Yeah, that's the moochism of the year, 2016, baby. That was it right there.
That's what I'm saying.
Show over.
I mean, look, and listen, there's nobody. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and make a bold comment here for the panel because I know Z's got a PS4, and OK Mega, and crap, and I do. I'm probably a bigger Last of Us fan than anybody in this room. Mm-hmm. I love The Last of Us. I beat it twice through, and I played the multiplayer for I can't tell you how many hours on in. I played for 3-4 months straight, like no joke. It was the summer before the new consoles. There was nothing out, and I just played that multiplayer. So I like The Last of Us. I couldn't wait for The Last of Us. And when I saw The Last of Us 2, I definitely was like, guess what? This is a good thing. But I didn't start like burning posters of like Xbox and start like tearing down like signs that say Redmond this way. Like I took it easy, man. Yeah. Take it easy, you know? So, I mean, I get excited when the thing I like about what Phil's doing is I like Phil's direction in the 12 to 18 month span now. When he shows you something, for the most part, okay, nobody's perfect. You're gonna play it in about a year, and that was his word to us back when he took over.
Yeah, and that's that. You know, and I think, you know, I've said this before. People could call this damage controlling or whatever, but you have to put in consideration for all the things that's happened to Microsoft during the launch of the Xbox One. Probably had some kind of effect on marketing, etc. You had a new CEO coming in to take over Microsoft. You had what was it, Nokia? You had those people coming in, and there was going to be people laid off as well. Then you had Phil Spencer taking over. There was a lot of moving pieces going on. Plus, they wanted to try to budget while all of this was going around. Then they had secrets, and they was trying to figure out what they was trying to do to get the Xbox One brand to get back in the homes, because a lot of people was not excited about it at launch. So there was a lot of things that was going on. I've been saying this, give Xbox time. I mean, if you look down the road, look, I think Miho looks like a fantastic game, but we're talking about Scalebound could be the best, best Japanese slasher game that's ever been made. I was watching some people showing some footage of it. That shit looks amazing. You know what I'm saying? I'm very stoked about that. Plus, if the whole Rise situation is true as well, then that means you got 2 hack and slash games. I mean, the one thing that Xbox is probably missing is not a JRPG, but adventure games. So if you get Bring Fable back, you know what I'm saying? That shit would be crazy. Plus, there was some rumors about stuff with other games coming down that was going to be at E3 that I can't talk about. That shit sounds amazing.
Let me ask you a question, K-Maker. What about bringing back Fable in an even more mature tone like The Witcher?
That would be amazing. That would be amazing. Now, if that's the case, then, you know, I've always said that Rare is going to take that because, you know, it's a but I know. But
I hate Rare.
I don't see Rare going a darker tone, so that means somebody else has to take that over if they're going that route.
Bubbly, gilly motherfuckers. They fart fucking rainbows.
But I definitely agree. If they're going to bring back a game, any game that we're talking, any of these games we was talking about last week, I would hope that they would come with something with a darker tone, because Rise had a darker tone to it, which I actually enjoyed. They need something that has a kick-ass Kratos type of character to just fill in the rest of what Xbox needs.
Listen, speaking of Rise, I love that fuck. Listen, we need to get this movement. Let's get the movement right now. Everybody, bombard Phil, Aaron, you know, he doesn't speak to us. Bombard, and listen, tell them we want Rise. They about to fucking cut the lights off at Crytek. I don't want to see them sell that IP for $26 and EA buys it and is multiplayer. I don't care. I just give me, like, come on, man. Like, we should have had it. I don't know what they got to do to get the deal done. I don't know, but I put Rise in yesterday. Of course, you guys, if you didn't see the video, check it out. And there's a story back in 2016. The same thing for 2014 about them not paying their employees. I know what type of labor laws they got over there in Germany, but goddamn. So anyway, you know, they're having problems financially. Now, I just also heard today that Amazon now owns the Crytek engine. Don't know how true it is. I haven't heard much from Crytek. They were making Homeland 2, and they sold that off to Deep Silver. They ended up making it. So we haven't really heard anything from them. So I don't know what they're working on or what they're doing, but I will love to have a Rise 2. Like, that game was really top notch. I think it probably would have did better or been more well received if it had not been a launch game, and it was already over the top. But had they added the ability to add magic or change your weapon or something like this, instead of just the same shield and sword, that, you know, and like the story, I don't know who wrote the goddamn story, but to me that shit was already epic. We need a Rise 2. Microsoft does not have a hack and slash. They don't. They own hack and slash. And I mean, like, that to me would be epic, you know.
Yeah, really, really epic. And that's, you know, I said this as just me. It wasn't me joking. It was me just asking the question. Was back then a couple of months ago when I finally beat Rise, And then like towards the end when you're about to fight that
Lord.
chick at the end, they were saying Scorpio, and I'm like, what the fuck is what Scorpio? You know, and we've already been hearing this talk about Scorpio and everything. And go towards the end of Rise and listen to them keep saying the word Scorpio, and I'm wondering, is that like one of those in the windows of just letting you know that this game is going to come, you know, that game is going to be on the Scorpio, like a launch title or something.
But I mean, I don't know. Like I said, that would be dope. Like I remember we were rumored to. It came out last week. Somebody, I think Xbox Mad. Shout out to them and their website. Check them out. They had the Rise. Was it Rise, Son of the Empire 2 or something? I don't. Like I said, it was rumored in 2014. I mean, BGST did a video about it. All these rumors from BGST, from E3, Microsoft, and that Crytek was working on a Rise 2. But Microsoft and Crytek fell out over the licensing of the game or whatever they could do. That boss, he's an asshole too.
Yeah,
was saying the game can come out on the PS4. It was a bunch of shit back and forth. But anyway, but Microsoft was going to put they were going to put big money behind that franchise. They were talking about a TV show and all types of shit. You know what I mean? But I really, and I'm not just saying it on some fanboy shit. Like I really enjoyed Rise. If you guys just got your Xbox One. And you want to see what the power of the console can do, like graphically, you know, some games like just stand the test of time. Like that is a beautiful game. Like you know what I mean? Like that lets you know like next generation is here. You know what I mean? Like that's and again that's game is only 900p.
Now tell me, Z, you're probably going to disagree with me, and that's okay because I'm actually glad to hear that you enjoyed it. But I was telling Crap earlier today, like Crytek to me is like Guerrilla Games. You're right. They make a beautiful game.
Yes.
But the games put people to sleep.
Yeah, right.
And you know they that game. I think K Mega. I don't know if it was your game footage from next podcast. I can't remember whose it was. Somebody was showing Crysis 2 off.
Oh, that was me. Yeah,
that was you, right? And I was watching it. And don't get me wrong, I bought Crysis 2 day one on the 360, and even on the 360, it was a beautiful game. But I got like 4 hours in. Never went back.
You know what? Crysis is the game. This is for you PC dick lickers that they use to test their rigs. It is. It's one of the games that they use. Oh, I can run Crysis 3 at 1080p, 2 frames a second. That was one of those games they used to benchmark their rigs with. It is very. I've been saying that before. Like Crytek makes beautiful games. They're just not good. The story. But like I said, with Rise, the story was ill though. I don't know who penned it.
Yeah, that story was fantastic.
Especially that last part when you had.
Let's let somebody in the audience do a little work for us. That NSZFK, who's a huge pony, he goes 2017 is going to be amazing for PS4. Hey, do me a favor, NFSK consonants. Do me a favor. Write down all the games that you can't wait to play in 2017 and leave out Horizon Zero Dawn. Leave that one out because we know that one's coming out, and write down all the rest of them. And let's just, I just want, and Z, you go ahead back to your thought. When he does it, I'll lock it in and we'll read all of his great games. Because 2017 is going to be a great year for PS4, but we don't know what the hell's coming out, except for 9 remasters and Kamizaki Dragon 17.
Oh yeah, and some weird ass freaky game. Yeah. I posted on Twitter where there was these little. It was trying to be like Splatoon. When I first seen it, I was like, okay, this looked kind of cool because they were showing these girls spraying each other with water, right? But then it turned fucking left. They started having little rubber duckies, and they started squirting little young girls and body parts and shit. Yeah. I'm like, okay, you know what? See. This, and then I'm looking at a whole list of these anonymous PlayStation guys that has, those little animated pictures of little girls and shit like that. I'm like, y'all some freaky nasty bastards. I'm like, come on, man, this shit ain't cool, man. I mean, really, you gotta be feeling offended to this. And then so there was a PlayStation guy that came, grow up, Mega. You need to back off. And then I said, man, did you see the footage? He was like, oh shit, my bad, man. I was wrong. That shit. I mean, come on, you can't get excited for this shit. If you're strange. You don't even need to be. You need to be in a prison or an asylum. You need to be checked. Yeah. That shit is gross.
Yeah, listen, man. Shout out to the Japanese, the straight ones. You ever watch their TV shows? That's some weird shit there, bro. They fart in each other's faces. And I'm like, oh my god, that's a weird culture there, man. But anyway, anywho,
I don't know whose list this is, but is there like list, right? Persona 5, Nier Automata,
That game is coming to the
Insane
Xbox.
Trilogy, Gravity Rush 2, Gran Turismo Sports, Ni no Kuni, which Ni no Kuni is a timed exclusive as well.
Yeah.
I mean, those are all Japanese games, man, and like
when did
like
everybody that's writing this take a picture and send it to us in the chat? You wearing a kimono? I don't understand.
I mean,
what the hell is like
there and list Ashen and
yeah,
game, like, you know what, the big games are the big games, right? Like, I'm an American and nothing against anybody that likes those type of games, but I have a PS4 and the only games that I have so far that interest me coming out in 2017 will be Horizon.
That's
it. And the DLC for Uncharted 4. Like, other than that, there's nothing on there. I mean, like Gravity Rush 2, really? A Vita sequel?
And listen, you don't like what we say. It doesn't matter if you like what we say. Just because Sony's selling consoles, that doesn't mean that Niho is going to be getting picked up by 50 million fucking PS4 owners. Like, you guys don't understand. Like, you got another list here. Gravity Rush 2, which is basically just a Vita game. Yakuza 0, which I don't even know if that's even going to come out next year. I don't know if that was good. Niho. Nobody even knows what that is. Even if you ask them play, somebody get GameStop on the phone, just ask the guy. Say, excuse me, hi, you work there? Yes, I work here. What's Niho? He'll be like, I don't know, something wrong, probably your Achilles heel or something. Then you've got, and people, for the love of God, stop putting MLB 17 in there. Half these people that like Japanese games, they'll tell me you also like American baseball. You're full of shit. All right? Like, how the hell, right? I mean, come on, let's just be real for a minute. Like, stop all the bull. There's you guys use all these terms on the internet. I'm just using a term called let's be real. Let's just be real for a minute. Who the hell's playing Kamasuki Dragon 17 and then can't wait to be the Kansas City Royals? Fucking get the fuck out of here.
Booch is lit.
Man.
That shit is fantastic.
Can we just cut the bullshit?
I know, man. And then they'll be the first ones to knock MLB. But if it wasn't for games like MLB, hell, they wouldn't even be getting these little punk ass little crazy games that's out there. Now, look, I am looking at Niho, and I thought what I seen at Gravity Rush 2 looked cool. I mean, that's just a game that I would play, but it's not a game that I would take serious. You see what I'm saying? I would.
Yes.
You know what? That's a game that I would. That's kind of like me listening to Taylor Swift rolling down the street, and then I see a bunch of brothers on the side. I'm turning that shit down. So I'm not letting people know. I'm not letting people know about, about my Gravity Rush 2, you know what I'm saying? So that's the thing,
Hey, shout out to Jason Hernandez. He put Niho is what Yoshida calls Amikiziago.
Damn. Cold-blooded.
Cold-blooded.
Cutting up, yo. That motherfucker's cutting up in the conversation.
They lit. I mean, that's just one of those games. That's kind of like, just for us saying on Xbox, I'm trying to think of a particular game like that roller coaster game. That's like me trying to brag about that. That game is an exclusive to Xbox. Nobody gave a shit about that fucking game. Nobody. That game was trash. So therefore, why would we bring that up? Bring us the big titles, the big boys. There's only a few, and we don't even know how many of the few is coming out. And for the other ones that like Hellblade, that shit's coming to the Xbox. So how are you going to say Xbox don't have diversity? They got these type of games. You guys are lost. You're so lost. Jesus Christ.
Somebody said, so what does Xbox got the first 7 months? Well, we got Halo Wars 2. You're going to be getting Sea of Thieves. Those are 2 AAA games. Like, I don't understand. Like, I mean, what are you guys? You're getting Horizon Zero Dawn and like Kamasuki Dragon 17. I mean, like, those games you want to put them on a list, by all means, go buy them. But tell me this. Find me one GameStop in the United States that's doing a midnight release of Niho. Nobody's doing a midnight fucking showing.
Look, most of these guys aren't playing these Japanese games. These are the same people, Omazio and all these herbs. They're the same people that were listing Godzilla, Tropico 5. What the hell is that? J-Stars.
J-Star, Moto GPX and shit.
Why don't we start making our own list? Why don't we start putting just like Cuphead and Below, and we're getting all these other games too for all you guys that are like
Inside 19,
Inside the 30th. Yeah, I mean, like all these other, like you guys just mentioned these things. Like Crap said, you're not even buying them. Like nobody's buying them.
Yeah, nobody. Those big games are like Halo, Gears, Sea of Thieves, Scalebound, Crackdown. Uncharted, God of War,
Spider-Man that comes out next year. That'd be huge.
Yeah. I don't think Spider-Man's coming out next year, but
because the movie ain't coming out until 2018. So
Oh, the movie 28. I thought it was the movie 2017.
Oh, the movie got delayed.
Oh, I thought it was 2018.
No,
I thought the movie was
It
coming out.
has nothing to do with the movie, though.
No, it doesn't. It's not. It's not. But you know the way Sony would like to tie that in, though. Crap.
I suppose.
He said Porter Rock said in the OG Xbox you can play Halo and still play Otage, Ninja Gaiden, and Shenmue. But the difference, Porter Rock, those are big blockbuster, big budget. Even though it doesn't matter the developer, they are big budget games. Like that's what we're trying to say here.
Ninja Gaiden 3 was a flop because the original guy that made Dead or Alive 5 and Ninja Gaiden, they just didn't do the right. Now I don't know who the people that came in and worked on Dead or Alive 5, but they did a pretty damn awesome job, and I like the extension that they're doing with Virtual Fighter 5 characters. Now they put in a King of the Five, King of the Fighter. That was character Maya. That was the person I whooped your ass with, Z. And so anyway,
how do you have this clown in your guys' podcast, Porter Rock?
Yeah.
He says Sea of Thieves and Crackdown are not big games.
Yeah, I don't know.
Gravity Rush 2 and Niho and these games are big games. Get the fuck out of here, kid.
Bless Porter Rock. Barney Rubble said
I would never even be in a fucking podcast with that chump.
Calm down.
Hey, Next Gen, you shouldn't be having these fucking fools in here that aren't on your level. Like, you got people saying this kind of shit. Come on, get out of here. Get the shame. Shame. Get the fuck out of here. Rack them up. Get out of here, bitch.
Gravity
Porter
Rush.
Rock walking his motherfucking naked, getting shit thrown at him.
He in the comment section walking naked, getting thrown at him.
Ding, shame. Oh my god.
Oh shit, we got another one.
Uh-oh.
We in here.
Showstopper.
Let's get. I want to hear show. You should have the floor to yourself for a hot minute and just discuss this NPD and the games coming out and what games
Pony does. And Pony does.
Well, don't forget, Showstopper was one of the first ones on BGST to tell me that he wanted what is it, One Piece or
Persona. He said he liked Persona.
Or Persona, yeah.
I like Persona too. Yeah.
MPD. Go ahead, Sean.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said with the MPDs, it was close. You know what I'm saying? It could have went either way. And then not only that, Walmart wasn't included in a lot of those.
I was going to say that too. I forgot.
Yeah, Walmart was not included.
We all reported that Xbox won the Walmart, right? That whole circuit, and that wasn't even included in a lot of the figures. That's true.
It was not included at all. Yeah, they just found I think they just got a deal with Walmart to include their numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
so it's like I think it was like a little contract out where they can include their numbers now. So that would have changed a lot of things. I think because I believe Xbox was the leading console at Walmart. When you went in Walmart, you seen boatloads of them PlayStation Slims and everything just everywhere.
It was 3-1. It was 3-1. I know a person that's a manager at Walmart, and they came and told me that they outsold the PlayStation 3-1, and that's why they didn't understand how the MPDs were siding with PlayStation. But I guess because Walmart wasn't included until now or something, you know.
So what it means is that is that going to be a recount?
Yeah, right. Fuck that Trump box.
Hey, in Trump's America, there's no recounts. We just got to do it. We grabbing consoles, baby.
Man. That's what happened.
Man.
Fucking crotch. Grab my
Grabbing crotches.
Man, they grabbed a fist full of crotches. Boy, good grief.
Oh shit! No man. No man.
Oh man, what's up though, y'all, man? Oh man,
good show.
Hey man, the title of this podcast is crazy.
Yo, Tim gave me the name. Tim told me to name it like that, man.
Oh man, we gotta save him today, man.
Yeah, Tim ain't here. Tim's in an AA meeting or some shit, fucking drunk or some shit like that. What's up with Tim? Tim got a Christ every fucking Sunday. He got a coke habit, man. Hey, something going down with Tim.
Hey, bro, Wolf going crazy right now, boy. I mean, he on that dust something serious, boy. I like,
Hey, hold on, wait a minute. Did y'all see? No, okay, y'all was the one that showed the picture of when he put the Sony hat, the cap on the Sonic.
Wolf trolling, man. He trolling.
That shit is hilarious, man. Oh man.
You think he joking or you think he for real?
I think he trolling. I don't think it's no way he can go. You know, that's why I call those type of gamers that go real hard one way and then flip flop. You know, my word now is fish. Freaking fishes, man. Flip floppers.
You know who started that shit? My man R.I.P. Gamer Nate. You know he passed away. He started that shit, man.
Oh yeah, he was a fish.
Yeah, Gamer Nate started that shit. I remember Crap was all happy.
He died?
Yeah, he passed away, man. Motherfucker OD, man, behind the wheel.
Oh, did he? Damn.
What?
Yeah, man.
I never knew that. Nobody told
Gamer
me.
Nate, the
the original flip flopper passed away.
I did not know he passed
When did that
away.
happen?
Like 2 years ago. Why you think you ain't seen him on YouTube?
I don't know. Maybe he just left.
Next gen kicked me out, man.
There's a lot of people that leave YouTube. I don't think they died.
No, but nah.
He's like, yo, you ain't seen him on YouTube? He's dead.
In the comment section, anything like you know, gone.
He did he really pass away? 'Cause
Yeah,
I didn't know him.
He
But
became a Jehovah's Witness and got real religious, and then turned to drugs. He was dating a black woman and a whole bunch of wild shit.
Whoa. Okay, you're a Jehovah's Witness. You start doing drugs, then you start dating black women.
No, he became a Jehovah's Witness. He became a Jehovah's Witness.
I assume he's a white guy, right?
Yeah, white
dude,
a trucker.
Okay.
He started. This is what happened. He became a Jehovah's Witness, and then he drives trucks. We met a woman of the world, a worldly woman, like the Christians would say, a woman of the world. Met her on the road, and then
the nights. Oh, she put that sunshine on his ass.
And from then he went to turn to hard drugs and rock and roll. Hard drugs and rock and roll, man. Heart can take it, man.
Well, rest in peace. I mean, I never watched his channel or nothing, but damn, he died from confusion.
Yeah,
Sure.
man. So
Well, you know what's funny is I remember like he got an Xbox One and he's all like crazy, and next gen goes to crap. He goes, he's gonna have this thing for about a week, and then I'll be damned, man. A week later, the dude was on something else.
He said Zaire just said sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and he didn't make it. Yet Brett Michaels is still ticking. Come on now.
But Brett Michaels been doing that since he was 6.
He has been. Yeah, Brett Michaels woke up with a guitar in his hand and a bottle of Jack Daniels.
You can't just start getting high in your late 40s. And you
can't.
You can't.
Well, hey man, rest in peace. I never knew him. I wasn't even into podcasts.
Oh, you ain't no Gamer Nate? Oh shit.
I knew him from the show. I watched when I was just watching.
He was just stalker ass mooch.
Yeah, that was when I was. Yeah, I was creeping
on the come up,
creeping over in Z's neighborhood.
That sounds like another little creepy bastard that be popping up on my comment section. I won't say his creepy ass name, but
don't bring that shit up.
Oh, no. Damn, boy, that motherfucker be creeping. You and 100 with your bald heads. I'm like, what the
what? Y'all heard some wild shit about him, man. What's my man named Mushmouth? Said he was, Mushmouth through the porn or low with the big women. He was liking his pics, man, and some shit, some wild shit. I said, "Oh Lord, yeah, that joker there, man. He funny money, man. He's just a stalker."
Who that?
Stalker, attic dweller. You know what we talking about, man?
Oh yeah, man. Oh, you talking about Count Dracula?
Oh, yeah, Count Dracula.
His whole swag, man, is. I'm telling you, boy, good grief.
Oh man.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, boy. That dude love counting mistakes, don't he? Like, how many mistakes next gen made? One. Jesus.
Day 87.
1, 2, 3.
Day 89.
Day 89.
The count. That motherfucker the count and show you crazy. Call him the count. We cut it up today, man. Call that motherfucker the count.
It ain't so much that he looked like him. It's just his swag, man. The way he walk and his whole mannerisms is Count Dracula.
Hey, somebody, when I first started YouTube, right? When I first started with a community, right? And I first went to YouTube, right? When I first started doing this shit, right? Somebody caught him at his job with a three-piece suit stacking the house, a Pathmark. I was on. I was just fucking wearing the suit, the Pathmark for the grocery store. Like, this motherfucker crazy. Hey, man, I see the dude in this motherfucker.
He was trying to show you his house. Open up that dang closet with all them suits, man. I was like, oh,
yeah, man.
He got the same outfit just like the Count.
Hey, that's one of them things that you, from that R. Kelly shit, keep it in the closet. That's that shit you gotta do, boy.
Boatload of suits, bro. I was like, man, have a t-shirt in that bad baby.
Hell no, nail jeans.
I ain't seen no jersey, no nothing.
Silks.
All suits.
Yeah, man, that motherfucker weird, man. But what's going on with you? We ain't talking to you in a while. What's going on with you show otherwise?
Oh
What
man,
you playing? What
just,
you looking forward to getting?
I'm just chilling right now, man. I've been just working. That's what I've been doing. But other than that, me and my boys been having like little tournaments in 2K and some other little things. That's about all I've been doing. So as of late, you know, I had to play on a whole nother name. I can't play under the Showstopper right now.
Okay. Okay.
So you're gonna get that? You're gonna get that PS4 Pro?
No.
Thank you.
No, you ain't gonna do it.
No.
No. It's just straight up no.
No. I got the one I got now. You know what I'm saying? And no.
Are you looking? What are you looking forward to play on the PS4 come next year? Or
you know, I'm looking. Well, whenever it comes out, you know, the God of War got to get gotten.
Oh, you got
that's a minute. That's a minute. That ain't next year.
A few JRPGs that I'm looking forward to, you know, Persona and some other ones that's coming out next year.
Isn't Persona the one that Zaire was calling Gundam style?
Yeah, Gundam style, because they had a point in there where they was doing Gundam style. Yeah,
that was that Team Geek Wanky. That's that shit they was doing up in that little expansion, boy.
Yeah, so you know, but other than that, man, it ain't too much on there that I look forward to for real.
Yeah, man, I don't really know. It's funny because like I kind of glaze over a lot of the you know, JRPGs aren't necessarily the bad thing. I wouldn't mind JRPG, but the ones that are just like the ones that K Mega was talking about, where you get like a water squirt gun and you're squirting the anime girls and shit. I don't know what that is, nor do I care what that is, but people are counting that as a game.
Yeah,
that's I don't know if that's a game or an addiction.
It's an addiction.
I don't know what that is.
The only reason why you get a PlayStation 4 is just for the games that you can't get on the Xbox. Well, anything that I can get on the Xbox, I don't want it on the PlayStation 4. And that's just how I am. I don't double buy like that. So, you know what I'm saying? I just get my
multiplex
and my exclusive for the main console that I game on the most, which will be the Xbox, and the stuff I can't get. I get on the PlayStation, and that's just how I ride with that. Other than that, you won't catch me double dipping.
You know what? With me, at the end of the day, like I tried playing 2K or again on it. I don't like that controller. I'm okay with that controller for like God of War or something, but to play like when I'm used to playing like say 2K or even Mortal Kombat, anything else that I'm used to playing with an Xbox controller, those fucking knobs just feel like they about to just come to fall. Like, they're so fucking loose to me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not even trolling. I'm just prefer the Xbox controller. And also so I'm more invested into their ecosystem than I am Sony's.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I think a lot of times we should, all the goofing around and the fun aside, Zaire made a good point right now. It's not about, we talk about the games, and the games are very important, but there's a lot of things to it, right? I always try to say this. You really can't overlook the controller. And for me personally, this is a me problem. I just don't like the PS4 controller. I just don't like it. I don't like where the analog sticks are located. And you might go, Mooch, get over it, dude. Get over it. Play the game. I try to in most cases, but it's like if you get behind the wheel of a sports car. Ask anybody who's a sports car fanatic and they get into a car and the steering wheel just doesn't feel right. Why do you think people that drive NASCAR have these super fucking amazing steering wheels and everything is like made to perfection, yet they still wear gloves? You know what I mean? Like everything has to feel right for these people. And what I'm saying is if you're going to sit there and game for hours on end, and it truly is one of your pastime passions, the controller is a big deal. Second of all, not with the controller, not just the feel, but then there's the hours. Every 3 hours, you got to plug this thing into that like 3-foot cord they give you. Yeah. And then, on top of that, you've got the online. Like a lot of Xbox guys, we're all online guys, right? I see K Mega, you were, we were online, all of us. We were all playing last night. We had like 16 hanging out in the chat. We were chilling. It was a good time. And my point is just that like you just don't see that in the Sony community. You just don't. And, people can argue and complain all they want. You ain't lying to yourself. You ain't lying to me. Right. And, it is what it is. So you take all these things into consideration. It's not just the games that kind of turns me off the PlayStation. It's also, just the whole functionality of the system. How about the fact that we're at PS4 is now into its third year, and we're still looking at the same basic UI as PS3 had on its launch year.
It's basic.
It's basically the same thing. You know what they say? Sometimes they say if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I'll give you credit there. But here's the one thing you can do. You can enhance it. You don't have to break it and fix it, but you can enhance it. It's still just a long.
They don't want to tamper too much with greatness.
Yeah, you know. So I mean, it is what it is, and it's not about they don't want to tamper with that greatness.
It's already flawless, man. You know they ain't gotta do much. It's just
don't mess with that greatness.
If they start tampering with it, man. They're gonna need Microsoft to come over there and help them fix it.
You can't change your name. Your controller dies in 3 hours. What else is there? I mean, to be honest with you, that's fine. Everyone's all excited about 2017. Why? Nobody knows. But that's fine. You're all excited for 2017. That means you bit with Sony, put on a bait of a hook. That's fine. But 2016 was nothing for PS4. 2015 was nothing. And even people that like JRPGs, most of them don't like Bloodborne. They don't like that style game. So 15 was a bust. Like, I mean, I just don't understand. And then everyone's like, you wait and see. Once Rise of the Tomb Raider comes on PlayStation, we're going to scoop that bad baby up. And you bought 125,000 copies.
It was home. Come on.
It was home.
Yeah, I mean,
somebody cue that song, Coming Home by Dre. No, that's not Dre. Shit, that was Diddy.
I'm coming home.
That's,
you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Eminem, I think.
No, it was Diddy.
But it was Diddy.
But, I mean, my point being is just that, like, I don't know. I just sometimes I always try to say to people, it'd be one thing if I was one of these people that was like, oh no, I'm an Xbox and I'll never buy a PS4. I don't want nothing to do. I own a PS4. I've owned it for 2 years. What do you want me to play on it? Like, what am I supposed to get? What am I psyched about?
I think that's crazy. Because we get sometimes we consider as being the biggest corporate slaves within the gaming community. We all own these different platforms and play on all these different platforms. And we get a quote unquote shamed or shunned for us having the preference and preferring a preference that's not the quote unquote the most popular console within the community. And we get people like the Black Jews of Israel or some shit like that. That in itself is just crazy as hell with me. Like, I own a PlayStation 4. You know what I mean? And again, I've said this time and time again. If things were fair, I mean, if the media, and not saying I'm just fucking beating hard for spokesperson for Microsoft, but if things were fair, and we didn't have to point out Sony's fault, like, hey, they're doing wrong too, and then you wouldn't be this shit here. But you know what I mean? But things aren't fair. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, like again, now if you can give Microsoft shit for some, they're at the beginning, but there's nothing. I'm not saying they can. There's always room for improvement. Let me reword that. There's always room for improvement. But if the things that you guys had a problem with back then, they're no longer there. But what are you guys still hating? Even the resolution war has went away. We're not even talking about 1080p any fucking more.
No,
that's just crazy.
This is the thing that. No, go ahead.
Well, mine's a one-liner, and I'm gonna hand it right to you, K Mega. This is the problem. You got people in the chat here like James Moore. 370 million games sold on the PlayStation 4. Like, what the fuck does that even mean? Like, or who cares if 370 million games are sold throughout the PlayStation existence? Like, I just don't. Like, that doesn't mean anything. Like, tonight when I get done with this podcast, I'm going to fucking grab myself a tall drink and just sit there and be like, yo, 370. That's a lot of games. Like, I don't know.
Hey, Mooch, what you want tonight, baby?
Man, I'm just on some beer, man. I don't understand it. Like,
my Adderall. What the fuck?
I'm creeping around those back gates again in the years there. No, but see, I just don't understand how they living in the past. We're trying to live in the present. Stop with the past. People are like, did you see that? Did you see what PlayStation 4 is coming out with? What's that? They're coming out with a gray model that looks like the PS1. I don't know about you, but I'm sleeping in a tent till that shit comes out. What? Like, stop living in the past. Don't give credit. We're giving Sony credit for what they did in 2006, 2004. Stop it. Stop it. There's nothing happening right now. K-Mega, take it away.
I just totally agree. Only thing that I was just going to say was that, man, I play at a lot of homeboys' house, man, and they have a PlayStation 4, and I swear, man, if it's a relief when I come home and I've got that Elite controller in my hand and I feel quality. Yes. It's all, you know what I'm saying, quality over quantity, man. When I touch that raggedy, nasty ass fucking controller with the rubbers off, and I swear, I'm like, man, when you gonna buy you some new controllers? I said, man, look, I'll cop you one if you really need one. No, I got this shit. I said, man, when are you gonna, I mean, when I come back from playing, you know what I'm saying, playing games with my homies, man, I got indentions in my fucking thumbs because the rubbers are off of that shit. I guess they just gonna let me keep playing in that shit until they draw blood or something. I have no idea. This shit is cheap. It's raggedy, and they don't even have a true controller. You know what I'm saying? After 3 years. And people are still bragging about how good the controller is. Look, I like the controller for fighting games, but when it comes to shooters, it's absolutely piss water. It's garbage. Send that shit to fucking Hades. It took my son. My son is do competitions for Call of Duty, and it took him damn near 3 months to get adjusted to playing that motherfucker, man. It was just crazy. And you know what I'm saying? I'm just kind of like, look, this is ridiculous.
K-Mega, we got Antonio Alicia in the chat, you know, because I said we got to live in the present. He says, I live in the future, The Last of Us 2. Hey, Antonio, while you're out there, who the fuck wins the World Series in 2020? Listen, I got news for you, man. This dude's out of his mind. Like, how can you get that excited for something that's coming out in 3 years? And I like The Last of Us more than any of these fools in the chat, too. I don't understand. Like, I'm excited that they're making it. But listen, I'm not going to claim I know the future, but I think we all knew The Last of Us was a success and that, you know, a successor was coming. Like, everyone's that excited. Like, who's really shocked that Halo 6 is going to happen?
Oh, no, Mooch. PlayStation, that's all they got. If The Last of Us, God of War, Gran Turismo, right? I mean, you know what I'm saying? That's all they got. That's all they got. Oh, and that's Uncharted, true. That's all they have. That's all they have. I get tired of seeing that every fucking time they just got something. Every time they have to show us something. I mean, don't that sound familiar? That sounds, and if that sounds dumb to you, then just think about how we feel about that shit. Because if it wasn't for those games, you would be having the bullshit games that you have right now to play and to brag about. You know what I'm saying? Because those are the money makers. Those are the ones that keep these companies open.
I like bringing up the people in the chat, the Sony fans that are in the chat, because I like to just say it out loud. Because I think some of them, when they're typing it, you know, what would your teacher tell you in 3rd grade? When you write something down, read it first before you submit it in. I think a lot of these people type it and just hit send. Yeah, they don't. He wrote this guy, NSZFK. Dude, do us a favor, dude. You're here every week. Just call yourself Bill. All right, stop with these fucking letters. He wrote, The Last of Us 2 killed the Xbox. Yeah, it killed us. It sure did. Look at Coming Attraction, Back to the Future Part 4 coming out. That's gonna kill any movie coming out in the next 2 years. I don't understand these guys. They just write stuff. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, Amiziago, because Last of Us 2 looks so beautiful. Also, Naughty Dog has proven themselves. And what does that do for me next year? Naughty Dog's proven themselves, and Last of Us 2 is gonna look good. Okay, we got it. Next, what's happening now?
Let me ask you a question, all you guys. Your favorite studio from Microsoft and your favorite studio, what would you like them to see them make outside of what they make right now?
That's a good question, Z.
That's a real good question.
Just thank you, Adderall. Juices are flowing.
Shit. Damn. I would say, listen, I like what 343 has done by picking up what Bungie, you know, created and kind of running with it. So I think 343 would be the one to go with. But what they would make.
Wait, hold on. 343.
Yeah.
Do you think Halo Reach is better than Halo 5?
Say that one more time.
Do you think Halo Reach or Halo 4 is better than Halo 5?
Well, Halo 4 was made by 343 as well. So you want to go by Reach versus Halo 5?
Yeah, which one do you think was a better game? Because Halo 5 was people saying it was a.
I'm gonna say Halo 5 myself personally.
Halo 5 too, me personally.
I thought Reach was a good game. I'm not gonna sit here and talk any shit about it.
Yeah, Reach was not. I liked the guns on Reach.
Yeah, I'm not gonna talk shit about it, but I still would. If you said to me, I got to pick one right now, I'd rather play Halo 5.
Okay.
Are you talking about story or are you talking about overall game?
Just overall.
Oh man, Halo 5 hands down, because Reach don't have any of the content that Halo 5 does.
Well, so my problem with Halo 5 was with the colored gentleman, like my man Craps with the colored gentleman.
I mean, why you got a problem with Agent Locke, man?
Because I'm not a big Halo guy, but listen, I'm not a big Halo dude, but I do my duty as an Xbox fan. I get it every time it comes out. Okay, I wanted this big showdown between Locke and fucking and Master Chief. But anyway, but get back to your question. What you like to see 343 Studio make outside of Halo, you know, to explore their talent?
But that was Mooch.
I'm trying to think here. I was actually trying to say, like, okay, so listen, like, you see how like Crytek made Crysis 2?
Yes.
Give something like Crysis 2 with the cloaking and, you know, being this like kind of like half alien, half robotic thing, and let 343 take a stab at it, because that could be nasty. That could be something that's really nice. But I mean, I don't know how to, listen, there's a lot of things I like to say I can do, but I'm not an artist like that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really come up with those kind of ideas. I like to see these, but myself personally, I think you narrowed it down to a Microsoft Studio.
Yeah.
I would have.
I don't know what I only no, because I know they let a lot of motherfuckers go. Playground. I mean, they let a lot of motherfuckers go. They got 343. They got Black Tusk with the Coalition. And they got Turn 10, right? That's Sony 3. They got
Playground. Yeah.
I thought they let them go. No, they don't own Playground.
Oh well, okay.
Playground just as a subcontractor.
Okay. For me, it would be the Coalition. I would want Coalition to make something.
Like what?
An adventure game. I would like them to make a hardcore adventure game because Gears, the way that they made Gears.
I forgot about Rare. They own Rare too. I forgot about Rare.
Yeah. The way that they made the way that how dark and how cool that story was for Gears 4, and it was such a good job that they did with taking over Gears. I could trust them with pretty much anything that they make. They made a dark adventure game. I would be all for that.
We got to ask this guy Dylan Price in the chat. Like, what is he? He goes, I love how Xbox guys focus on the bad PlayStation games while ignoring the big games. What the fuck are the big games? and what were the big games in 2016? Whatever your name is there, Dylan. What did I miss this year that you got that I missed out on? Because I got Uncharted 4, so knock that off the list. And by all means, feel free to put No Man's Sky on there, because I could use a laugh and spend 10 minutes.
Yeah, and Street Fighter.
You can throw that on there too if we want to make us chuckle.
The worst Street Fighter, the worst bought Street Fighter in Street Fighter history.
Listen, Street Fighter 5 was so bad, PlayStation fans, Xbox fans want to thank you, because Street Fighter 6 is coming to our fucking shit.
Oh, right no, away. You know what? I was reading a report that there's people out there trying to say that, look, man, we understand that you make that promise of saying that Street Fighter 5 is not going to come to any other platform. Well, go ahead and start changing names, like do Street Fighter 5 Alpha Season 2, some shit, and bring that make that multi-console, because obviously
the franchise.
Hold on.
Yeah,
okay, he got back to me. I told him not to put Uncharted 4 down, but he actually has to, because he doesn't have anything else to write.
That's
it. He wrote Uncharted 4, he wrote Ratchet and Clank, he wrote The Last Guardian, and The Show. Again, just stop with the baseball, for the love of God. Listen, I'll give Sony one thing. I always say don't give them credit. I'll give them credit that they signed the contract before Microsoft realized it, but that shit just comes out every year, and it ain't no big deal. There's nobody in the world really kicking and screaming at night on anybody's couch because they don't got MLB The Show. So that's not that big of a deal, man. All right, The Last Guardian's broken, and Ratchet and Clank was a remake. So you're telling me, like I said, the only thing you had was Uncharted 4. Because I can bet my bottom dollar you didn't play 75 hours of MLB The Show 16.
Whoa, and Barney Rubble 77 just said Street Fighter 5 is the best fighter out. And I bet you, I know what he's going to say. I can hear Porter Rock right now. He would say, because it was an evil. It was an evil. Shut the fuck up, Porter Rock. Stop making an ass out of yourself, bro. I love you to death. You my boy, but you got to stop with this. Even your own brethren will not agree with you with that. You know what I'm saying? That's a fanboy statement. That's just like me saying, as much as I love Killer Instinct is the best fighter ever made. I should get destroyed for that. You know what I'm saying? That's just not the case. Street Fighter 5 is a good game. It's fun. But that game was so broken and so not well received from anybody except for Evo, that, you know what I'm saying, that's the only thing that's keeping it alive. That's the only thing that kept that game alive.
This is you just pointed out one guy who's delusional. I'll point out another one. You got another one here. It says The Last Guardian will outsell any Xbox game in 2016. Really, dude? Like, come on, it's gonna outsell Gears 4. Shut the fuck. I mean, listen, this is what I'm saying. Like, that's why when people are like, Mooch, you're this, and Crap, you're that, Zaire, you're this, and BGST's full of shit. Meanwhile, you got these guys. These are the guys writing the articles on Reddit.
What's funny is these guys have the audacity to say we damage control, but they're damage controlling like the Street Fighter game that killed the franchise, right? Like, I mean, honestly, how can you damage control that, right? Like, how can you? All we heard from these people, Amazio and all these fools, No Man's Sky. I mean, these were all games on their list, folks. The Gravity Rush Remastered. You know, it's like these are all games on their list, and then they quickly forget about the lists.
Yeah, the list goes away.
It is whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like these. Let's be honest here. Sony released Uncharted 4, a good game. Ratchet and Clank, good, nice little cute AA remaster.
How many hours was that crap? How many hours was that game?
Like 10 hours or so.
No DLC.
No,
well, I mean, it was just a quote unquote reimagining of the first game. Like a $40, game. It was good, but it wasn't like anything fantastic,
right.
you know. And again,
and that's it. That's the end of the year. That's the end of the year.
And even if you're like a Last Guardian fan, which by all counts, that's a $60 indie as well. That doesn't seem to have aged very well by all reviews, even though it got good review scores. Controls bad, has bad AI that doesn't listen. You know what I mean? Has a bad camera angle, bad frame rate. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, but don't forget
we're the damage controllers, right?
Yeah, we're the one damage controlling though.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's just it's wild, man. It really is wild. I mean, these are the guys that take to Reddit and take to all these things and troll Phil and copy our names and put ats in them. Why don't you guys say, well, we need a hobby. You need a hobby, man. You guys, what are you even doing in this chat? Don't you got like a podcast to start or someone to fucking hate?
Mooch, let me just say this, Mooch. This is what really blows my mind, right? They have this little slogan, other than this new thing that I like. This dude called me K Make a Cornflake. I love that shit. I even got a little somebody made a little picture of it.
Saw that.
That's awesome. I love that dude. But anyway, other than that, they have this little saying of play less podcasts, play more games. But every fucking time that I go on Bang Bang just to see, I could be at work all day and then I could have some downtime just to fuck around and play with these dudes with just talking shit, and they're on there. I'll go in, I'll wake up and I'm like, what's going on Bang Bang? I'll go in there, I'll see them in there. Still, same guys, same people. I don't know what the hell. How do they game? And then they have the nerve to show us trophies of games that's only like 3 or 4 hours long to beat. You guys are a joke. Show them, you know what I'm saying? Less social media, more gaming. I want to see some gaming hours in this motherfucker. I cannot wait when Xbox implement that into that so you can see motherfuckers actually truly game. Around these parts, we eat. Right. We eating good right here. We got games. We got games. We got real women. We don't got that cyber shit that y'all into. We got real shit popping off. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what the hell's wrong with you cats.
Yeah.
Hey, Crap. What about you? Your favorite developer from Microsoft, and what would you like to see them make outside of their comfort base?
Rare is already making something outside their comfort zone. So
Rare is your favorite developer from Microsoft?
Yeah, definitely. And they're making Sea of Thieves, and I heard something else as well.
What would you consider Rare's comfort zone?
I think that their comfort zone is just making interesting games. I mean, so this one, like, I'm all in on Sea of Thieves, man. That new trailer that they released, phenomenal.
I haven't seen it.
Looks absolutely amazing.
Good. Yeah, trailer does look good. Like I said, the jury.
What's the game about though? What is it about though?
Yeah, it's a shared multiplayer game. You team up with people and you take loot and you find treasures and you battle in the seas and then you take your treasures back and you do different quests and things like that. So
so there's a land option. I'm not spending the whole time on the boat. Maybe I adjust the game too goddamn quickly.
It's like, to me, it's like a little bit like the Dark Zone in what the hell is that? The Division. Yeah, because like at any time, people can steal your shit or you can steal their shit. So you know what I mean? It's like you find all you follow the treasure maps and you fucking
like
your treasure. I mean, yeah, like, but it's like multiplayer and and then you can it's pretty cool. You can get like if your ship goes down or what. I don't know. Like, to me, that whole thing I love pirates and that whole setting and the multiplayer aspect. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm hoping I get into the alpha next week.
Find out next week. Yeah, I mean, listen. Here's the thing with me. I'm cautiously optimistic about Sea of Thieves. I think that it's got potential. I think what they're selling is a good sale, but I don't know how the quests are going to end up. I don't know how much of it can be played alone. How much you need to rely on other teammates. It depends. Like, the only other company that's going, people, they love it, they hate it, whatever you want to say. But the Destiny is the only MMO style game that's somewhat successful right now. And
Division is successful too, though. I mean, I know you don't like it, but
I don't think it's
the numbers are.
I like Division. Division is
is great.
Yeah, I like Division.
The numbers are back up to launch numbers right now. So I mean,
I think that was the week that they did it. Not anymore. There's
yeah,
no way there.
but they're going to release more story related DLC and stuff like that. So I mean, I'm interested to see. I actually like the Division more than Destiny, but you know, I'm like, because there is that whole Dark Zone aspect. So I mean, we'll see how it goes.
I don't know.
Had a more realistic feel for me. That's why I think I like
it. Did, but then when you start shooting people and they take like 3 clips.
I wish it was 3 clips. It's like 48 clips. You know, I mean, it's like, it's just, I don't know, man. Like, to me personally, they what they're doing crap, and the latest thing they did with that survival, which is kind of bullshit. People are like, oh, that's great. Here's the problem with it. It's basically this is a single player game. So they made a single player game out of a game that's supposed to be so team built. Then you're like, oh, they're going to throw some more stuff. Where's Central Park? Where's all this shit they were supposed to expand the map into? What did they give you? They gave you a basement. Like, I mean, it's not that they messed up. Unfortunately, they messed up too much. That thing where you're saying the numbers are back up, that was the day they launched survival. There's no way, and that's single player. There's not like everybody that bought that, those millions of people, like those 2 million people between PlayStation and Xbox that bought that on launch week. There's no way that 2 million people are playing that game right now across the 2 consoles.
My interest is peaked to hop back in it, but I got too much else going on right now.
And guess what? And you know what, though? But crap, that's a good point. Thank you for bringing that up. So even if your interest is peaked and you're not going to it, guess what? You're not going to go to it later when you go back to it and find out everyone left again. It's unfortunately, its time has come and gone. And again, I can say this very, very like with sureness is that you can hate Destiny. You can hate it. I'm not going to talk you into liking it. I won't. I just won't.
It's really a functional game. But
it's a functional game with a community that never left, and that's what makes it a success.
No, they faded away until they brought that iron.
They faded away just before the Taken King, but ever since Taken King, these dudes never left, man. They're still there getting Destiny tattoos on their forehead. They're crazy, man. They're crazy.
I want to say this.
I mean, there's still some Division fans like that too. You know what I mean?
A couple, yeah. I just don't see it quite as much. And I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and bash them. If you like Division, you like it. But
what about I mean, because I'm gonna take you back. I remember before there was Activision with Call of Duty. Ubisoft they were the king of the shooters with the Ghost Recon and stuff in the Rainbow Six early on in the Xbox Live lifetime. And speaking, they have the new quote unquote the Ghost Recon coming out next year. Do you have any hopes for that? You think that's going to be good?
I do, because if it's on the same wavelength as the Division, but it's open world, then I think it's got a lot of potential. I'm really looking forward to it.
Graphically, I don't know what that's the PC.
Wait, which game are you talking about, Z?
Ghost Recon Wildlands.
Oh, that's not really on my radar. I mean, I don't really know. I don't know much about it. I don't know. It seems like one of those games where like remember when like that Sniper Elite game came out and everyone was like, yeah. I mean, it's gonna be better than that, but
they make shit games. Fuck that guy. What he said? What he called the Xbox, the X-Bone or some shit?
Oh no, that was different. That's not the same guy, but it's.
Oh, that's not the same guy. I thought that was him.
No, it sounds similar, but right? Crap, isn't it? GSW, GWS.
Warrior something.
Yeah, Ghost Warrior or something. He's the one that said that. But no, I mean, with my whole thing with the Ghost Recon, I don't know much about it. I really haven't looked a lot into it. A game that I haven't looked into, but now I'm looking more into, but I'm finding out the more I look into it, I'm not liking it, is that Resident Evil 7 demo. I actually went to Twitch and I watched somebody like start streaming. I watched about an hour and a half, and all it was PT. It was like a puzzle thing where you walked up into the attic and then downstairs.
It looks scary as hell, though. I can't.
It is freaky as fuck, but
I can't play it, man. I've been shot with goddamn.
It's freaky as hell, but I don't know if that's when I want Resident Evil. I want like the traditional, you're the Jill Valentine or whoever the other, Chris, whatever, and get into it. And
I guess, and I don't know what show we was on. Oh, it was yesterday when I was talking to Zobi. We were talking about franchises having to evolve to attract a broader audience, or what the whatever the case may be. They fucked Ghost. I mean, to me, in my opinion, they ruined Resident Evil, especially with 6. I didn't have a problem with 5 with the co-op, but it stopped being scary because when we first time we played Resident Evil, it was new. If you go back and play it now, like it's dogs, it won't scare you. But I guess it had to. I didn't like the engine. I never liked the engine of the first 3 Resident. I was like, you walked in a square. I hated the fucking. I loved it before you be able to run around freely. But they just in 6 was in Raccoon City was just hard. But 6 was like some John Claude Van Damme shit. Like I ain't know kicking it and and doing kung fu moves like that shit was just all over the fucking. It was like what's that show y'all what The Walking Dead, 1,000 zombies in the street and you fucking doing kung fu taking kicks and shit. That shit was horrible, man. You know what I mean? But I guess they try to bring it back and make it more scary with the first person aspect to it. I mean I wish it was in third, but if it was in third person I'd buy it right away. But that shit just looks too goddamn scary.
Resident Evil has gone to. I'm boycotting Resident Evil until they take a break and then let Capcom do some real work and bring out some games. I'm very excited about Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. They need to bring back. They have so many games in their library that they could bring back. They could let Resident Evil take a break. And they could start working on bringing those games out of there, man. I mean, a Power Stone,
how many people really know about Power Stone? We talking about
There's a lot of people that know about Power Stone. I mean, you just say the name, and I guarantee you will be on the list.
Did they have a company for PlayStation? I know it was on Dreamcast.
No, it was on the Dreamcast. No,
yes,
they made it for the PSP. They made it for the PSP.
I know, but like we know, the Dreamcast failed, and the PS2 was the system of choice. Then, and like I said, many people, talk about Power Stone, but they not gonna know what the fuck's Power. They're not gonna buy that shit.
Ah, man, I'd buy that day one. I mean, but you don't have to. I mean, it's just one of those games to where you can.
Remember Night Stalkers? They had that shit.
Right. Yeah. Oh yeah. That was a dope game. I mean, they just like Honor Miss You. That's how I like Miho because it reminds me of Honor Miss You.
Now that would be nice. So some next generation graphics.
Yes.
And, a big budget. That would probably be nice. Did you guys get Final Fantasy? Are you guys enjoying that or?
Man, I watched. I did what like people told me to do. They told me to watch the movie first, Kingsglaive, and then I played that little mini game, and now I've just now kicked it in. And right off the bat, right after when you get started, I guess it's a nightmare that the main character's having. There's this big bad motherfucker that's sitting on a throne, just throwing fire at you. I'm like, God damn! And the graphics is absolutely.
So should I buy it? Should I get it? Because I didn't like that. I didn't like that demo. That running around and that fucking log cabin chasing that fucking opossum. I didn't like that.
That demo was weird. And then, and I'm glad they don't have that little motherfucker with you unless you want to do the tutorial. You see it and you do that little shit. But it's not a game. I love these type of games. So it was cool. At first, I was kind of skeptical because I am an old school turn-based guy. But after fighting a couple of creatures and shit, I see that it's more modernized and it works. I really do like it so far, but I only put in maybe about an hour in. But for what I played, I really enjoyed it.
Wait, what game is that?
Final Fantasy 15.
Final Fantasy is actually very. Like I said, I only put it down because Dead Rising 4 came out. But
so you got it?
Yeah.
The American Dream. What you got there? Deuces Hag. I gotta get it, dude.
Listen, man. No, listen. I got like 2 hours into it, man. I think my characters are level 9 or level 10. Like, I'll be honest with you, like. I think it's a great game. I'm looking forward to playing the shit out of it, but that'll be the game I'll play probably through the rest of December and into through January because like I think the game is very very good.
I gotta get it.
And nostalgia is a hell of a drug. I played 1, 2, and 3 to death back in the cartridge days, man. I ain't showing my age there, but like that was my shit back then. I like JRPGs. People don't understand. Just because you hear the mood you hear now, I'm just trying to be realistic. I'm trying to, you keep your ear to the ground, you hear what's going on. And in this country, there's just not that many people buying the JRPGs. It doesn't mean that they shouldn't make them. It just means that they're not going to make that many of them. It goes for anything. It doesn't matter what it is, whatever the subject is at hand. If something's not selling, they make less of them. That's just the way it is. And Phil knows that. Phil's like, I got a budget. Why am I going to put $50 million into this type of game and no one's going to buy it?
Let me ask you a question then. All right, real shit. And this is going back to what I said before we get the hell out of here. You said we have a budget, right? And and that's why I like the old regime where mama fucking just throw money at the motherfucker. Fucking, I would rather I'm gonna say this. I would rather see the Xbox platform or whatever the fuck just stand on their own. They're worth about $30 billion. The entertainment division, spend them off, let them cut rep in their check every quarter, whatever the fuck they got to do, and let them just do their own fucking thing. I guarantee the Xbox platform would be instead of just fucking crunching numbers. I know they wonderful at business, You know what I mean? But I would love to just stay on their own and just do their own fucking thing. And let if Phil's really fucking driving this shit and ain't got to answer to my man, the Dalai Lama, just let him fucking just do his goddamn thing. You know what I mean? And you know, and worry about somebody looking over their fucking shoulder. I would love that. You know what I mean? Before I used to get a Phil, what you mean spin the Xbox? Nah, fuck it. Let them stand on their own, do their own fucking thing.
Listen, look at the hate in the goddamn chat. Mooch is only level 10. You get to level 10 by accident within only 2 hours. I just said I played it for a couple hours, asshat. What the fuck is wrong with these people, man? Yo, take the hate down a half a notch, will you? Jeez, I just said it. Yeah, how can you say, well, you know, K-Meg, I've only played it for about 2 hours. Gotcha, Mooch. Hey, you can accomplish that shit in 2 hours. No shit. It's fucking play to tape.
It's a lot more, and no disrespect to me in the comment section. Most of the people that watch this show, they don't have a life outside of this. And I'm not, I swear to God, I'm a grandma. I'm not even being disrespectful. They don't understand that we have lives outside of this right here, what we do, and whether it's working or school or I don't even myself. You know, I'm self-employed. You know, own several properties. I don't have the time to fucking sit and play games like I used to. I don't have it. You know what I mean? If I get 2 hours,
thing.
I don't. I actually, I mean, I'm just. I don't. Something called life, man. You know, if I get 2 hours in or 4 hours, like that's woo. That's like the World Series for me, man. You know what I mean? I can sit on my ass and nobody ain't got my fucking throwing shit around here. My wife ain't fucking nagging. My grandmother ain't cursing me out. Fucking with my
man. When you get yeah, exactly. What Z's saying is right. When you guys get older, and you actually got some real problems. You ain't gonna sit here and be like, "Well, I don't know about all you guys, but I'm gonna put all my work and everything aside. I got some knee hold to tackle." You know, I mean, like it doesn't work like that, man. You guys just don't understand. It's just, you know, here we go. Another guy, Dylan Price, the turtle. Dylan the turtle. Mooch, black. What is it there? Was it there? Bloodborne sold 2 million in 2 weeks. How's that not a fan base? Dude, it's Dark Souls. That's not a Sony. You don't pat Sony on the back. You know what I mean? Like, that's Dark Souls. Of course, Bloodborne did really well. It didn't sell 2 million in 2 weeks.
No, it didn't. I think that's the max.
It took a year. It took a year and a half, 2 years. You fucking Momo. Take it easy.
And another thing you just listen to these dudes.
Trey, Momo.
Is that we have games. We got more games than we have time. Actually, you know what I'm saying?
That's true.
You can actually see you can actually listen to these guys. They kind of bust themselves because they say, "Well, I beat that game yesterday." Well, hot damn! What kind of time did you have? Plus, what are the other games that you want to put and invest time in as well? That's kind of like what my issue is, other than the adult things that I got to take care of as well. It's like, damn, I got so many games.
You have a work life, you have a love life, do you have a social life? Like, what that? I just don't have it in me, man.
Yeah, and you know, and then that's really crazy because I mean, when Sylvester went into my shit and he was like, "You're a nibbler, you don't play all these games, motherfucker." It's called a catalog. That's what you do when you are a person that's invested in the games. You have them stored for later to play. Yeah, I don't understand that.
This guy, Serious Diversity, goes, I'm 28, 2 kids, 40 hours plus a week, yet I get more than 2 hours in a game that I like. Dude, what is wrong with you, Cyrus the Virus, the guy who's actually just a troll? Listen to me for a minute. I'm doing 4 podcasts a week. I got 2 kids. I work 40 plus hours too. I'm also playing like 5 other games because like you got to talk about shit when you're on podcasts. You don't have to talk about shit but bothering me. I don't know what the hell's like. What do you want me to tell you, man? I'm playing like 4 different games. I'm playing Dead Rising 4 right now, Final Fantasy, still keeping active on Gears of War 4 multiplayer. I'm well over 100 hours in Gears of War 4. If I'm not, I'm flirting with 100 hours. Still tackling Forza Horizon 3. Like, this guy's like, these guys are crazy. I just don't understand. You know, they just say what they think. Read what you type before you hit send. It's really a great bit of advice.
I can balance it all. I can balance it all. You know what I'm saying? They say more gameplay, less podcast. Look, you can just you can go to my channel, KMega405, and you can see every week I got gameplay showing of me, you know what I'm saying? 15 minutes worth.
But what it is, we have to have a special geek card to get into the club? And
I don't know, man. It's really crazy. And then for us all being pretty much root gamers, those achievements and trophies, if when Microsoft and Sony and Nintendo will allow us to get those hours that we put in back from the Atari to Nintendo on down implemented into our actual score, then I think a lot of people will shut the hell up. You know what I'm saying? We game enough. Trust me.
It is what it is, man.
Yeah.
Hey, fuck it. If I'm a casual, I'm a casual, man. Fuck it. I'm not claiming to be a fucking, what do you call them, a marathon gamer. I tell them I don't have it in me. Like I get on an hour, 2 hours, gotta go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It is
now I'm all worked up and I got the Giants game. Imagine how loud I'm about to get.
Yeah, but anyway, listen, ladies and gentlemen, man. Thank you as always for rocking out with the Big Game of Small Talk podcast. Swing by the website, check out the merch. We appreciate it. Thank you for supporting all our brands. Shout out to my man Wolf. No, ain't no beef. No, just bugging the fuck out, man. I got a sense of humor.
Shout out to Wolf.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah,
shit, BGS's Dick Ironwolf. No, come on, don't start that shit. We out of here, man. Bang.
Peace.
Peace out.